Press F2 and zoom in on the project. We'll now focus on this circle. We'll draw a circle just like this one. Try to adjust the circle size and shape as shown on the screen. You can change created object's width and height on the toolbar, either by inputting a specific numerical value in millimeters or as a percentage. Try inputting 68 millimeters height so the circle does not exceed the rim's area. You can also mark the circle and align it horizontally and vertically. Now you need to unlock the selected object's ratio input. Do that by clicking on this icon. Once input ratio is open, you can set values separately. If you do not want to count, you can set the scale factor in percentages instead. If you convert an object to curves, it will reset scale values based on the object's current size. Now, to make an object half the size, you just need to fill the desired scale ratio and press enter to accept. Otherwise, you have to count and divide the rate in millimeters. To change the object's angle, go to Arrange, Transformations, Rotate. Now you need to set which control handle you want to be the center of the object's rotation. Once you set the rotation point, you need to determine angle rate by which you wish the object to rotate. Set, for example, 45 degrees. If you set an angle which divides equally by 360 degrees, the image's spacing will be equal. Once you apply, the image's copies will appear around the chosen rotation point. 45 degrees spacing seems too sparse. Change it to 30 degrees. It won't be a problem if you want to align the obtained object to the yellow circle by simply selecting both objects. It is because of our newly created small circles they are considered as separate objects. If you align them using this setting, it will end up like this. Of course, we want to align it a different way. Please undo the alignment. Because I want all the objects to be aligned as one, we need them to be grouped together. Let's set them the same color. Go to Arrange, Group Now. All previously separate objects are now grouped as one. On this occasion, we have two objects to be aligned. Once you align them vertically and horizontally, you will obtain the desired effect. Now, click somewhere on the free space to unselect both objects and just mark the circle. Now, go to Arrange, Order, and choose either to Back of Page or Back of Layer, because since we're working only on a single layer, there will not be any difference which option you choose. Mark both objects and group them together. Now, it will be easier to move them in the worksheet. This way, they won't lose their alignment when scaled or moved. Group function does not destroy, combine, or change objects' colors. Now we have two groups. One consists of a circle grouped together, and the second one is our rim. Now we could simply duplicate the object and scale it, but we'll do it from the beginning. We'll draw a new circle while holding Control button. Now set the outline to 4 mm. On the other rim we set 4 mm outline, so maybe since this one will be smaller, let's set it to 3.5 mm instead. It's not that important right now. Now, to see the transformation better, change the view to wireframe and go to Arrange, Convert Outline to Object. Switch view back to normal. Now set the same colour. Draw the spoke circle inside of the circle. Now, I want to create the same wheel using a different method than before. Select both the rim and the spoke so that a line icon will appear on the toolbar. Otherwise, to find this tool, go to Arrange, Align and Distribute. Open the Align and Distribute tool, and here we have different options of alignment. The alignment refers to the axis. You can align either to the axis of the other objects or to the axis of the worksheet, which means page. You can align objects to other selected objects with page edges, with the center of the page, with the grid, or with a specified point on the worksheet. For now, we'll not be using those other options. You can't find a solution to our problem here. The problem is that I want the center bottom handle point to be aligned to the center of the circle. We can try the snap option. To use Snap Tool, you don't need to have any object selected. Go to View, Snap To, and then Snap to Objects. I'll zoom in and change to wireframe view so you can see it better. Point to the bottom of the object so you can see this sign, quadrant. Left click, drag and drop until you match the dragged object's bottom with the circle's centre. Now, scale this bit using the top handle point. As you can see, Snap To option worked well in this case. Right, now you need to turn the Snap To Object option off. Go to View Alignment Guides, and let's see if that'll do the job. These guides are helpful, but it's not as easy. If you drop it, it will not always match to where you dropped. Maybe alignment guides will be okay for this task. However, you need to be very experienced using this option, so for now we'll give up on that. Even after zoom in, it's hard to find the center point without using Snap To Object option. In this case, let's give up on alignment guides. Now please turn them off. Once again, use Snap to Object and align our spoke's bottom with the circle's centre. Turn off Snap to Object, go to Arrange, Transformations, Rotate. Leave 30 degrees angle, determine lowest centre rotate point and apply. Set normal view. In comparison to the first method, I gave up aligning both objects together. If I wanted to do something with the spokes, I have to group them together first. If I wanted to enlarge the circle, I need to do it by holding Shift. This way, our centre alignment will not be lost. Go to Arrange, Order, to Front of Layer, and we do this because we want to group it the same as we did with the previous object. Select everything and then click on the rim while holding Shift. This is why you will unselect it. You can check it by adding colour. Now I'll group the spokes together. And once again, select and group both objects. That's the previously grouped spokes and the rim. Now, if I want to add colour to both objects, I need to select them and add colour. If I want to change colour only to the group inside, I need to click the inside object while holding Ctrl. If the spokes would not be grouped together before, colour would only be applied to a single spoke. So if you want to select a group within a group, you need to click it while holding the Control button. If you click and select the whole group, first click inside while holding Control, it will mark the group inside, and second click while holding Control will mark individual elements within the inner group. So, if you want to select objects inside the group without ungrouping, you need to do it while holding Control button. These two wheels are already grouped, so you only need to select them and align them to their bottom edges. You can also do it by using Alignment Guides option. Using the Bezier tool, we'll try to reproduce a wave like the one going across the carriage above. Try to make small arcs by click, drag and drop. Then choose the Shape tool from the toolbox. Now, change all the nodes to symmetric ones, either manually or select all and use this icon from the toolbar. This way the figure will be more shapely. Now set the outline to about 4 mm, maybe 3 mm. I will reduce this node, double click and select and press delete to give this wave more smoothness. If you want to add a colour to the outline, you need to do it using the right mouse button. Now you want to change this outline into an object. For you to see it better, I will change the view to wireframe, go to Arrange, Convert Outline to Object. Now we'll work a bit on the shape of this figure. Part of the nodes will be deleted. I select these four and press delete to delete them. These two I'll delete too. To change it so the figure will not have the same thickness everywhere, I need to move the nodes a little bit. For now, we'll perform the simplest way of working with the nodes. Let's change the view back to normal and press Shift F4. Now we can select all and group it together. Our main objective right now is getting used to the program's interface and working with it. Once we are done with the basics, we'll start creating more complete entire projects. Now we'll focus on this figure. As we already know, when we have a certain figure made of straight lines, we need to convert it to curves. Then, when I have a figure like this, I select one node and I have multiple actions dedicated to it on the toolbar. Right now, I cannot make the node symmetrical because all of the nodes have straight line status. I have to select all the nodes and convert them to curve. Now, since the nodes can be manipulated, I select one node and click Symmetrical Node action. Using this action makes the curve smooth because the nodes get straightened. It happens the same in the case of smooth and symmetrical nodes. You don't have control over it, but these nodes get straightened and curved to change their shape. Now, choose Bezier tool and try and copy the ball's head image. I don't have to click so often, so I'll start at the beginning and click less. Just try to obtain an overall outline of the original shape. Try to make half the head. Now, we'll improve it a bit by deleting some of the nodes. Because I accidentally moved the node too much, I select everything and convert it back to straight lines. I'll select these two nodes, then align them vertically. Here I have a straight line. Now the nodes are aligned. I'll improve some of the nodes a little bit, so it resembles the head a little bit more. While holding Control button, I can move these two selected nodes. Here, I will shorten it a little bit too. So, now I've made an angular figure. Now I'll select all the nodes. I'll make it a bit smaller. With Shape Tool, I select all the nodes, then change them to curves. Now, I select all the nodes beside the two on the right edge, then change them to symmetrical nodes. Now, on the node moving basis, I adjust the shape of the head. Assuming that the shape is acceptable, I'll switch back to the pointer tool. I select the object and copy it, edit, copy, paste, or Ctrl-C, Ctrl-V. Now, when I have two figures on top of each other, I pick the left center handle point Now, while holding Ctrl and the left mouse button, I drag the image to the right. First, release the mouse button, then Ctrl. I select both figures and then combine them. Now I'm left with a symmetrical figure. Those were our experiments for now. Right now it's more crucial to understand the general idea how to work with simple projects.